everybody came in nice and early and already got all registered and everything. So here they all are. And Gus, do you have the? Yeah. Let's see. Make it louder. Let's see.
Volume always seems to be an issue, doesn't it?
Yes. Okay, hold on. Are you finding it there? Or? Okay. Gus is just getting your pictures ready. And yeah, I'm going to see if I can do this. Okay, yeah, and I will share that with everybody. So, now, what do you want to start, or do you want us to show your pictures, or what do you want to do?
Oh my goodness. Well, have you introduced me? Have you told a little bit about me, or
I have.
that where I start?
Yeah, that would be a good way to start, because I did, but you know more about you than I do. I'm going to try and do that.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome. If you want to speak as loud as you can, I'm going to go and try and get some volume fixed on this, okay? But until I do, just speak loudly.
Is everyone able to hear me okay?
Okay.
Just barely.
Just about that.
Oh my goodness, okay. Well, my name's Chirpich, and I hiked 800 miles of the PCT last year as my first ever backpack trip. I've been doing local hikes with my friends here for several years, and I ran across a picture that was actually 10 years ago. So it's at least 10 years
I'm not sure that they're all going to do the PCT. They just want to, at this point, they want to learn about it, and they want to get themselves active for the winter, because there's, it gets pretty gray here. So this is the kind of program that might inspire people to then do the PCT, because people here have done other trails, but they haven't necessarily done the Pacific Crest Trail. In fact, I asked that question just now, and this is the first time I think that I haven't had anybody who's done it before. So what you can share with us is just gonna make it more interesting for them to perhaps embark.
How long did it take her to do the 800 miles?
How long did it take you to do 800 miles?
Well, we did what's called section hiking. We did not start at the Mexican border, which is called Campo. We did not start and hike straight through that 800 miles. Because we're so close to the trail, we were
Uh-oh.
2 weeks off trail. It started with, Debbie was a little hesitant to hike from the border, which is the Mexican border, and she was a little concerned because at that time there was a lot in the news about the border and walls and the hordes, the tens of thousands of people who were trying to get into the United States. And she envisioned that kind of situation at the border. So we decided, she said, I want my brother to come along. So her brother and came along with us a couple of trips. And they were only able to do 3-day weekends. First trip was only 26 miles, and we hiked from the border to the first campsite, which is called Boulder Oaks.
I come to the library all the time, I'll see the sign.
That hike was epic for me because it was the beginning. I was actually doing it. I was at the terminus, and there's one of the pictures that you're going to see where there's the four of us in front, and I turn around, and I'm
Oh, we missed that. You cut out for a second.
Well, Gus just plugged in.
Oh. Okay, hold on for a sec. Got it? Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. It always happens.
Always have technical difficulties.
Oh, it's almost. Hold
Like
on.
the film strips they had in high school.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They always were.
Okay.
The only thing that happened was the bulb burnt
Are you
out.
still there? Oh. Is it coming through?
Did we lose volume altogether?
We did for a second there. So if you want to start from what you said about.
Okay, now I can't hear you. I can see you speaking, but I can't hear you.
Okay. Interesting. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. You can hear me.
Yes.
Is the volume better?
Victory.
Much better, yes.
Okay, start from where you were saying where you started. The
Okay, well,
the first 26.
so our first, we hiked in sections.
Yeah.
Because we hiked with her.
This connection is cutting out.
People trying to get into the United States at the border, which was not the case. And I tried to reassure her, but she was a little on the nervous side. And I don't know, maybe I was just too confident or too oblivious to that possibility. So her brother and wife came with us on our first trip, which was 26 miles, 3 days. So on that trip, there's going to be a picture that you'll see where we're at the monument, because there is a monument at the beginning.
Yes.
And right after that, our first steps on the trail, they're all hiking, and I've turned around, I'm way out ahead, and I'm saying to them, are you coming? I was so anxious to, let's get on the road. So we, as a first hike, when you're hiking with others, out on hikes understand that there's a lot of people's pace. And I had told Debbie from the very first start, when I posted on Facebook, I'm slow. So they were always out front of me. And I was always playing catch up. But I got used to that, and I actually did my first night hike because they were so far ahead of me that evening, and they had a certain place they wanted to get. So they're out in front of me, and I had to keep hiking, and fortunately, I have a headlamp, so I could see the trail. And I eventually did catch up with them.
Wow.
So, sometimes along the trail, I have discovered a variety of whys. Now, a lot of people, maybe they're trying to heal for something. It could be a veteran that's back from overseas, and they love the outdoors. For me, it was to know and prove to myself that I could do this. But as well, one of the light goes on at some point. I was sitting by a creekside with Abby. We were having coffee in the morning and having a little breakfast before we took off. So peaceful. And I just looked around and I thought to myself, I have everything I need right here on my back. If I needed to survive without anything else, I know that I can survive with just what I can carry on my back. That was quite a revelation. And more recently, the thing that's come up to me is that my entire life, I have played it safe. I can say I've been sheltered, well taken care of, beautiful house, nice family, good jobs. Really not done anything too dangerous. And this was certainly coloring outside the box, if you will. And I have proved to myself, yeah, I can't do it. I am still physically able, even with, I have physical limitations. I have arthritic hip. I have a recovering knee injury. But you can get conditioned and you can do it. Now, in preparation for this, there are a number of resources that we, in Premier, we come up and does an atlas. It's a pocket-sized atlas, so you can see it's not very big. It's very lightweight, and it's in the list of resources that I've provided. This is called Eric de Black's Hiking Maps. Now, these maps, it shows the overall. This is Southern California, and it gives all kinds of information about each section, because PCT is divided up into sections. I think it's A through, might be H, G or H, all the way to Washington. Let's see, now G is actually Southern California yet. Maybe each, okay, I didn't really pay attention to sections. I just wanted to know where I was going, how do I get around, what do I do about supplies, because on a 26 miles, you're going to carry 3 days of food, and water was relatively abundant for us, so we didn't have to carry an awful lot of water. But when you get into more of the warmer desert sections in the summer, there's not going to be a lot of water, so you're going to end up carrying more water. And this map, it would have information of all along the way. What mile are you? What elevation? What's there? And showing the elevation changes. So looks like there's a hill we're going to have to climb there. So with that information, we could plan ahead and say, well, okay, our next water source is not for another 10 miles. Well, our average is 10 miles a day. Throughout this whole thing, there were days we only made it 5 miles, and there were days we made it 14 to 15 miles. So maps like that were invaluable. A little further down the road, when let me explain too that we only did 450 miles of Southern California, and after that, because of the Sierras had
Snow. Oh, you're cutting out.
I'm still on?
Now you are back.
Back?
Yep, you're back. So
Okay. Okay.
we stopped at the Sierras having
Debbie and I
snow.
do not do. Okay, yeah, Debbie, do any part you need ice axe or crampons. No. It's not that we don't do cold, but snow and ice can be treacherous. So, got to Cotuit, which is about 450 miles into the sea in California. We traveled to Oregon-Washington border at a place called Cascade Looks and hiked south. That trip, we did not come home for, I think it was about 5 or 6 weeks. We were out. Fortunately, there's a lot of water in Oregon, so we didn't have to carry a lot of water. But food carries can be a concern. So, what are you going to carry for food? Where are you going to get your food? What kind of food? Are you going to use dehydrated? Are you using pre-packaged food? Do you dehydrate your own meals? So, that contributes to your weight. Let me go back to the resources. So, once we went to Oregon, these were not available for California. These are National Geographic maps, and again, they're pretty small, only a couple ounces, but they have a whole lot more detail as far as the map is concerned. They show more of the road, topographical information. Let's see, others. Regarding water, there is a water report that is published, and it's like a crowdsourced piece of information. If you go to the PCTA, the Pacific Crest Trail Association website, pcta.com, you can see the water report or link to the water report there. What that is maintained by one, but you can send information through email, and as you travel down the trail, you can say, for instance, well, I'm at mile 100, and the published water source here is actually dry, and there is no water available. So people are sharing that information, and you can actually see who posted it and what their comment was. Maybe it's a trickle and they were able to collect water. Was it a creek? Was it a waterfall? Was it a pipe coming out of the ground? Maybe it was a cattle tank. Yes. And I've seen YouTube videos of a gal named Dixie, and her YouTube is Homemade Wanderlust, and I highly recommend her YouTube series. She told about coming upon a cistern where there was a dead bear.
Oh.
Ooh. Not sure I'd want to drink that water. I think I would go thirsty for a while. So there's a lot of different situations and that PCTA water report is invaluable. Let's see. Speaking of YouTube, before I went, I was following Dixie on her 2017 PCT trip. And she would publish every night, and you know, now it's in the past, you can watch the whole thing. She actually has a digest, almost like a movie documentary, where she summarizes that whole trip. And what's called the Triple Crown, which is the Appalachian Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, and the Continental Divide. That's the Triple Crown. And this year, she and her sister did the Camino de Santiago, the northern route. So all of that is there on YouTube. The other one that's fun to follow is Darwin on the Trail. This gentleman has hiked a lot of different trails all over the United States, and he's a wealth of information. They will do gear videos. They'll talk about meals. They'll talk about clothing. They'll talk about shelters, backpacks, sleeping bags, all of that. They discuss the gear that they're using and why, if they switch, then they discuss why they've changed to something else. Maybe, like Darwin, he just likes to try something new.
Frozen again.
Did you hear how much weight she carried?
We've lost you.
Okay, first and foremost is your phone. Get a good phone
She's talking about technology on the trail.
that has good reception. Are we okay?
Yep, you're okay.
Oh, we're okay. I'm trying to think what happened to my English. Okay. Oh, I know where it is. Pardon me. I took it with. I went out hike yesterday. I took it with me. I forgot all about it. Okay, so on the phone, there are. Let me turn that off. There are several online GPS sources that don't depend on cellular, which is key. Because when you're in the mountains in a remote area, you are not always going to have cellular. We're not, we're kind of, where we live in popular areas, always have something not in the mountains. So a GPS device is also helpful. Now there's several out there, but I chose the Garmin InReach Mini. Now there's a lot of different Garmins and there's some other companies, but I chose this one because of the size. As you can see, it's about the size of my hand, doesn't weigh too much. And the best thing about the Garmin InReach Mini is that it connects to my phone through Bluetooth, and you can receive and send text messages even though I don't have cellular, because this is a satellite device. And I always receive or send more messages the minute. It's not like cellular where it goes immediately. Sometimes you have to wait for this to actually acquire a satellite. And sometimes that could take up to 20 minutes. And the other thing I've discovered is that, Deb and I may be separated, and I'm trying to catch up to her and give her a message like, okay, I'm going to stop at such and such a place. And I would send the message to her, but as she's moving down the trail, she's moving away from the satellite. And until she stopped and would give the Garmin time to acquire a satellite, she couldn't get the message. So it's rather frustrating at times, but, you have to understand the limitations of and what you have with you. The Garmin also has a feature where you can, on your phone, you have an X, and you can looking and actually share your track with whomever you put in your list of whoever you want to share this with. So I was sharing my husband and my family and a couple of my friends who were interested to know who was. And the key feature, because when I bought this is a $350 device. It only goes on sale one time a year. Just passed it. But right over here on the side, over on this side, can you see that?
Yep. Yep. SOS.
SOS. So, if I got in trouble, I can push that SOS and help will come. Maybe not necessarily within 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes a while to number one, find you, and if you are able to text and say, I've slipped down a hill and I think I've broken a bone, they'll be able to find you and then organize whatever is necessary. So I got this for Christmas a year ago for my safety and husband's peace of mind.
There we go.
So it's a very valuable little device. I don't know an awful lot of hikers that don't have some type of satellite device where they at the very least, have the SOS on it. Other iPhone is a
Cutting out again.
subscription.
Okay.
Now, does she have the reference up?
The
Do
your
you have the list of references up?
no, I don't have that list up. But what's the?
Well, they can get it later then.
Yes, I'm gonna post it on our website.
I provided.
She's got a list of resources and references and websites and stuff. You're cut out again. I don't know why the connection's so bad today. I know, but she was clear when I FaceTimed her on Monday.
Well, it was clear at the beginning, it's been clear off and on.
Yeah, we got a poor
Maybe,
connection.
can we
thing.
switch it just to audio? Does that help the connection to not have the video? Not that we wouldn't want to
Hold
see
on,
it,
we've
but-
got it's just giving a poor connection.
It's just like a phone call.
Oh, and I got, well, now you're back.
Okay. Am I?
Am I back?
Your voice is back, so you can keep talking.
Okay. All right. So the list of resources is provided to you. She'll post it on your site, and with all the links to how to get these. Now it's a strange name. Yeah. And there's a lot of story behind that, but a couple gentlemen decided to start mapping large trails. And now they have innumerable trails available on the Duck Hook app. We depended heavily.
Last again. We lost you
On
again.
the,
It was perfect at engineering, but me too. It was an outstanding connection.
Want me to try to call you back?
okay. I'm at,
Yeah, your
We're going
voice
to-
is back again. Yeah.
okay, all right. no, let me mail yet. Okay, there you go. Maybe that will help my connection a little bit. All right, gun hunt. We depended heavily on it because it's an excellent resource. And it's very up to date. It gives elevations and it gives distances between between places. When I'm on at a specific location or a remote place at, maybe we come to a trailhead and there happens to be trail magic going on. And so I can post at mile such and such, there's trail magic going on here and breakfast sandwiches are being made for us. So, water sources, tent sites, restricted areas, all of that information is on GovPark. And the other thing is, it'll tell you if you've gone off trail. If you're tracking yourself and you're not sure if you were on trail or not, you can turn on GovPark and say, oh, yeah, I really got off trail here. I've got to head east because I got off trail. So they say it's very true. You not only depend on this type of technology, be able to have maps and compass and all of that. We did not carry map and compass on the trail. And I think it's because the PCT is so well marked and it is a one trail. And if you're not searching for a trail under, 4 feet of snow, the trail is always there, and it's very hard to get lost from the PCT. So we did not carry map and compass with us, but depended fully on my GovPark and the Garmin InReach, and this little guy. There's another mapping source called Gaia, and that one is GAIA. That is produced by National Geographic, and that is actually worldwide. So no matter where you're hiking, Gaia is invaluable. And I would depend on that. Now there was another source called Half Mile. You'll maybe hear from time to time about Half Mile. There's another man that was tracking and making maps available online. Half Mile stopped updating a couple of years ago and is no longer going to keep it up. However, Gaia has picked up his information and is using his information to incorporate into the Gaia maps for the PCT. Let's see. One other. How are we doing for time? That's about a half hour. Okay.
Yeah.
Two other websites that are invaluable is the REI website. They have articles. Look for, the 10 essentials. What are the 10 things you ought to have when you're out backpacking? Another one is backpacker.com. That's the Backpacker magazine. I'm sure you probably have that right there in your library. But they have an excellent online presence. They have, they do, where if you want to submit blogs, you can submit to them, and if they accept you, you can publish your blogs through them. They have exercises. If you're getting ready for the trail, there's a big long list of different exercises that you can do to help get in shape. So with that, I would maybe open up to some questions. Have I left holes in my presentation where
Only
we
where
need
you
to?
cut out. Only where you cut out.
Okay,
But
all
you're
right.
gonna hike
And I don't know
the
where
whole
that was.
Okay, we have a question. Are you planning on hiking the whole thing?
with their head in the clouds. So as we're hiking along, going slow, less than 10 miles a day, I think it was probably February or March, I started doing the math. And I said to Debbie, if we hiked every single day, no breaks, no going home, we might get to the Canada border by January. So, and she's like, no, we're going to do it. We can do it. We'll get our trail legs and we'll be able to make it. And I'm going, okay, Debbie. So then at some point, she came and said, well, maybe we could do this in 2 years. Yeah, we're not going to make it this year, but we'll do it next year. We'll get it all done. And I'm going, at this point, I know her well enough that I'm just agreeing with her and let her have her pipe dreams. So our most recent agreement is we are now a 3-year plan. So this year, I would like to make 1,000 miles this year, and I think we can do it, but there's still so much snow in the Sierras again this year, so who knows?
How much weight did she carry?
How much weight did you carry?
Yes, the weight, typically, the calculation is you carry no more than 1/3 of your body weight. So well, no, it's not 1/3. Is it 20%? No, it's lower than 30%. I started out at 150 pounds of that I weighed, and I was carrying 30 to 35 pounds, which is pushing it a little bit. 30 is kind of where I needed to be. Now, that's full pack, full water. I mean, when we left Campo, I didn't know where the water sources were. I wasn't familiar enough with my data sources. So I had 5 liters of water, which is 10 pounds of water. That's a lot. And I also had 3 days of food. And weirdly enough, on the trail, that first trip, I totally lost my appetite. Nothing seemed good to me. Even though I think I went, they say 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of food a day. I started out with 1.5 pounds a day. I think it was like 4 pounds or something. I came home with 3.5 pounds of food. So I'm not sure what dynamic is happening there, but nothing appealed to me. The only thing I sustained on was jerky and chocolate and water.
Tell us a little bit about the trail angels you were mentioning to me.
Trail angels and trail magic. So trail angels are people who want to support PCT hikers. They can offer anything from a ride from the trail to town or from town back to the trail. Some may put you up at their home. Some will help you, if you need to get to the doctor, they'll take you, help you get to the doctor. They're amazing, amazing people. I have stayed at several people's homes, and one in particular in Big Bear, I would say there was no less than maybe 15 people, 15 to, maybe not 20, but 12 to 15 people all staying at this particular place. And the gentleman made dinner and breakfast every day for us. And if you could put money, contribute to help pay for that, then it was all by free will. Now, trail magic. Trail magic is very sporadic, and we just never seem to catch up with the wonderful trail magic out there. It's as you're hiking along, there may be something as simple as a cooler full of fruit. It could be oranges or apples, maybe some hard candy.
And then there's the individuals that will, where the PCT crosses a trailhead, they will bring in a full-on picnic. I mean, they've got a whole picnic table full of food, chips and dips and watermelon and grapes, and the guy was grilling sausages for us, and hot dogs, hamburgers. Another place was doing breakfast sandwiches. And, you know, there's such a thing as hiker hunger. Now, I never really hit it that hard, but when I ran into the guy that was making breakfast sandwiches, so he had a muffin, an English muffin, a piece of cheese and an egg. Oh yeah, baby, I had 2 of those.
What you said you had that night hike where you got kind of distanced from the people you were with, but what's the scariest thing that's happened to you personally on the trail?
The scariest thing. I'd have to think about that. I think Deb was more scared of things than I was. But I guess, you know, just to start is the night.
Starting the night hike.
You know you're in bear country, and or I guess the worst animal out there is the mosquito, because they can be insufferable. So I guess it's probably the night sounds. And of course you go through certain areas like in Oregon where Bigfoot is around.
But is that scary?
Maybe the scariest for me was water crossings. You know, you've got water rushing down off of melting glaciers, and that water is moving fast. It's moving really fast. You're not quite sure how deep it is, but you have to pick your place where you can cross safely. You really don't want to be any more than shin. Absolute max would be knee deep, especially if it's moving that fast, because you don't know what the footing is like underneath either. Even though the water is pretty clear, if anybody has been in knee or thigh deep water, you know that can just push you right over. You can go down. So I never had to do any water crossings where I had to swim, and I don't ever care to. I think at that point I would turn around.
What is your, in terms of landscape, what was your favorite part of what you've done so far? Favorite area?
Oh, you know, every area has its pleasures and its surprises. In Southern California, it was the massive of the desert. So many miles. You could see for 50 to 100 miles as you're going through the mountains, and you get up and then you come around a corner and you just can see forever. And it really just, it's awe-inspiring. But then you get in areas like Oregon, and you're in woods. It's just beautiful, beautiful woods and calm, and so many birds and the little animals. And then, of course, there's Crater Lake in Oregon. That is phenomenal. The deepest lake, and so blue. What was the other one? Oh, the other one that's jaw-dropping was Ramona Falls, and that also was in Oregon. We came around the corner, and there's this waterfalls that's like 60 to 100 feet tall, and it's just cascading down very gently, but so beautiful. Pictures can't do it justice. You got to be there. You got to be there.
Well, we're doing it vicariously, so we're gonna for now.
Were there a lot of people? Did you meet a lot of people on the trail?
Oh yes. You know, you'll meet people as you're hiking. Maybe you're taking a break, and they'll go by, and there'll be those that just keep going and they hardly even speak to you. But then there's others where maybe there's 2 or 3 tents at a specific place, and you kind of visit with each other and get to know each other. When you get to the trail towns and you go to a restaurant and get real food, real food, not trail food. You sit down with them and you get to know each other and where they're from and what their aspirations are. As it happened, when we got a lot of the people that we actually met in Southern California made it all the way through, and we crossed paths with them. There were 13 individuals that we had met in Southern California that we saw again in Oregon, which was, that was pretty cool, because now it's like, oh my gosh, how was this here? I said, did you make it, or did you jump ahead, or, yeah, that was, it's always interesting, and you see all kinds of, all walks of life.
Anybody else have any questions?
What kind of shoes did you wear? Hiking shoes.
I wore a brand of shoe called Altra, A-L-T-R-A. And a lot of hikers are wearing Altras. They're actually a trail runner, so it's a low shoe. It's not a boot. For me, I needed the flexibility in my ankle. I can kind of say that when I hurt my knee, I tore a meniscus. I was wearing a heavy Solomon waterproof boot, and it was, it locks up your ankle, and you don't have much flexibility in the ankle. So as you're hiking along or rock hopping or whatever, the next joint to take the torsion is your knee. So I decided no more hiking boots for me. And if you look at a lot of YouTubes, the hikers are wearing Altras. Another favorite brand is Hoka, H-O-K-A. Not so many Keen. There's a fair amount of Solomons out there. But for me, I preferred the Ultra Lone Star, or Lone Peak, I guess it is. Now the thing about the Ultras that's different is it's called zero drop. That means that, for instance, on a like an ASIC or Nike shoe, the heel is going to have a bit of a lift to it. Ultras are like going barefoot in a shoe. There's no lift at all in the shoe, because I like to go barefoot in my house. I'm always stocking footed, so it was a natural for me. Some people, the zero drop can be too much, and if you are used to having a shoe with a lift, then I suggest if you try an Ultra, wear it around the house a lot or on some local trails first to see if that's going to. The other thing is, for the shoe, I normally wear a size 6, 6.5, and I started out with a size 7, and I soon lost several toenails because they were banging into the toe of the shoe. So the next pair I bought was size 8s, and I have no more toe issues. So Ultras all the way, baby.
Anybody else have?
Yeah. What's the story with firearms on the trail? Any gunnies?
Were there?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question. Any what?
He asked whether there were. Did you ever run into people with firearms on the trails?
Nobody's going to tell you if they're carrying or not. Now, I am an advocate of firearms. I own my own. I train relatively often, but I do not have a concealed carry permit. I am probably going to do that sometime this year. I don't know that I would carry on the trail. Other self-defense items you could carry with you are a stun gun, or possibly even bear spray, you know. So it's not. I think I've only heard of maybe 2 incidences. I know that there was an incident on the Appalachian Trail this year where there was unstable men, and they kept letting him back on the trail, and he did murder some people. That's, I mean, but how many murders are in the news every day in your own hometown? You know, no matter where you go, those are out there. Trail people are really all out there just to enjoy. We're all enjoying the same adventure, and we all have that in common. All ages, all the people from all over the world. All over the world. We met Australia, New Zealand, Norway, Spain, South America, Canada, Germany, England, you know, Netherlands. I have enough friends in Europe that I could probably stay for a month.
Anybody else? No?
That was great.
Yeah, very good.
I think we are all set for right now, Carol. That was excellent. I'm sorry that the technology was failing on my end, but you gave us so much information. And do you mind if I put your pictures that you sent me up on our website so that people can go back to them and look at them?
You know what I would like to do is probably put them in order.
Okay, absolutely.
I
yes.
was trying to do that with my own software here, but apparently my computers are nearing the end of their the days when they will be updated. So the other thing, just in closing, I'd like to let you know that I do have a website. It's a blog, so you can read some of my writings, and I haven't written a lot about the PCT, but that's in the works. So that's lakebloomhiker.com. I'm on Instagram and Facebook, also under Lake Bloom Hiker. And I am in process. I mean, if I could get a count, I know you'll have to and tell you the for me, but doing a podcast.
Okay. You're cutting
Okay,
out.
I'm thinking of doing. Okay. I'm planning a podcast for women 40, 50, 60 plus age groups.
Awesome.
Because I think as far as the social media, there's really not much out there, and I want to be encouraging the women to get out there. I understand that each age group has a variety of challenges. 40s, their kids are still home, they still have jobs, but they can still be getting ready to hike, maybe gathering gear, taking the kids out if they'll go. My kids never wanted to go with me. They think I'm crazy. When, in the 50 age group, your kids, you're starting to get empty nesters. And you may not be done with your career yet, but, some people can retire at 55. It's in the planning. Keep yourself healthy. Keep out there. Get out there and hike. Again, be looking out for gear. The REI garage sales, oh my gosh, they're amazing. I got a $350 tent for $135 at a REI garage sale. It's exactly what I was looking for, too. Got really lucky. Let's see, where was I? Oh, and 60, I want the women in the 60-something age range to know it's not too late. And I'm the proof. At 65, I did my first backpack trip ever, and it was the PCT. And it doesn't have to be the PCT, but it's not too late if you're in your 60s. So 40, 50, 60 plus, that's my target age range for my podcast. If you get some feedback for me and let me know who there might be interested in that, I had to do a little research yet to see if there's going to be an audience for that.
Sure, yes, absolutely. We can
Well,
do that.
thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for taking this time out and sharing with us. I'm sorry, again, that the connection is so poor. We've been listening to you for the last little while with a kind of a blurry picture moving in the background, but when you do send me the photos in the order that you would like them presented, I'll put them up on the site so that people can go to it, and I'll put up all the links that you sent me and links to your blog. And
Yes.
yeah, and you were saying that you were gonna head out again maybe in May? Is that what you were saying to me, that you might start again in May?
Well, where we need to go is socked in with snow.
Right, yes.
And it's just breaking my heart that there's snow out there, because where we need to go is going to be full of snow. So we may have to wait till May, June, July actually to get it out there and be able to do the Sierras. And we could either start in Southern Oregon. We stopped just short of Crater Lake. We can go southbound from there, but I know they still have snow. And I know one gentleman in particular slid off and ended up having the helicopter rescue. That's another website. If you want to quick write that down, Second Chance Hiker. Second Chance Hiker. That gentleman started out the PCT last January, 400 pounds.
Wow.
Yes. So you can watch his journey. He found love on the trail, and he's now in Germany with his honey.
All right, that's motivation enough. Well, if you do start again, I'm going to check in with you over the next 8 weeks, just because I think this is kind of fun, just to have you here as a kind of a mentor in a way.
I'd love to be back if you need me.
And when you do start again, I will publicize that when you finally get back on there, because I think people are going to be interested. It's a great connection. So.
Well, very good. I've had a really good time. I could tell stories all day, and I know that I probably did not an hour. So.
Well, you need to put them on your blog so we can read them.
Yes, yeah. That's the plan. But when you're hiking, you really don't have time to write, because by the time you get to your tent at night, all you want to do is get to bed, go to sleep, and get warm.
I understand. All right, well, have a good afternoon. It's evening here, so.
Yeah. All right.
Take
Goodbye,
care.
everybody.
Thank you so much. All right. She lives in California. I'm not sure exactly where, actually. I'll find out for you. But yeah, so Kathy actually found her for me.
She's a hammer dulcimer player.
Oh.
We met at a hammer dulcimer workshop, and 5 years ago, she hadn't been back to that hammer dulcimer workshop since, but 5 years ago in Portland, and so I've been following, because we became Facebook friends 5 years ago, I knew she was a hiker, but I knew she'd done the trail.
And Kathy has single-handedly got all of the people who are presenting.
I will tell one story about Leslie Reynolds, the chief ranger at Cape Cod. So I wrote the superintendent of Yosemite, because I know him personally. My late husband was with the Park Service. So I wrote him and said, is there any chance you know anybody on the East Coast that's a friend of Yosemite that could come talk to us? And he said, well, the chief ranger at Cape Cod used to work out here. And I thought, what chance is that? So
she's coming, of course, I've forgotten the date, it's in
it's
February.
February 13th.
February 13th,
Day
so
after we get
in
back.
your packet, you have a list of programs, and a few of them had not been scheduled yet, so you can write in February 13th for Leslie Reynolds to come and talk, and she'll talk about Yosemite. And as soon as I hear back from my artist, I will tell you when that date is as well. So thank you. I'm so sorry that the technology was.
She stood up. There was a camera.
Five missile in America that played that.
So,
Too much water.
that was the picture.
You're all very patient with me. Thank you.
Oh. Oh. You know, I didn't see that. I know when she took pictures. I knew she was there. I talked to her. Oh, all of us. Now, Carrie's shipping candy. 110.
So you have to make yourself a pin.
I know that. I understand that part.
So you can do that anytime?
Yeah.
Someone else will give our lunch.
Okay, so we're ready?
Good stuff, huh?
It's a good salsa. Coffee hour. You know, I wanna know where they got it. Always thinking coffee hour.
No, I know, but 30 pounds is minimal. I'm carrying it.
Yeah, that's it.
This comes up right along
Yeah,
the
perfect. What
ladder
are you doing with this?
and then goes out
That's
around
like a
Columbia,
long trip?
10 days. 10 days.
right where they bend the trail on the map. So it's going basically right through the but there are some nice areas.
And Jerry said she's gonna do the Shetlands with someone, with another friend. And then she said.
So Casey, is this your first time?
Yeah, it's my first time.
That's good.
And my daughter's doing it, and my friend is doing it.
Oh, your daughter?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
she wants to be the first one done. She's competing.
Oh, okay. She's driven.
Well, she's 30, so she.
Uh-huh.
That's her
Guess
goal.
I'd
Is
forgotten that you had a daughter.
yeah. She lives in Connecticut, so she's doing it remotely.
Back to me. I'll pop it in.
She what?
She's doing it remotely from
Oh,
Connecticut.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. Great. You know,
Like she said.
Hi. Bye.
You'd be like, all right.
my knees would work, I'd do more hiking than I do.
Thank you. You're welcome.
My daughter and my
Keep
friend are
talking,
doing
walk.
it remotely.
Oh, yeah, Jeff's.
You know what?
I always.
But,
She signed up online, and all of those things are available.
hey,
Okay.
Jerry, nice seeing you again.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Do you have any
See you on the
pins?
golf
I can
course.
make a pin for them.
Yes, you can. Let's just
That
cut.
was fun. That was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it was very good.
Educational. Now I have to
All right,
read.
so hold it. Oh. No, you gotta bring it up. Yeah,
Hey,
it's
you got your
not
pin?
intuitive. There we go.
Oh, this
One.
one.
Hey, I already did 3 miles today. Does that count?
Yes.
It counts, right?
I actually am counting my 2
Hey,
miles
wait a
yesterday,
minute.
Yeah,
too.
but you know, you could show off less, Mr. Canavan.
7.9. So I got to do another 1/10 of a mile to make it even 8.
Do it now, run around.
Yeah.
I don't even bother because
Because
I
you're
walk
lazy.
3 miles every day, so
You're
it's just like,
Yeah.
just go put them in.
Right down to the town doctor.
There you go.
That'll do it.
All right. That wheelchair lift is the best thing.
Well, that was
Even
good.
though it's
It
terrible.
was too bad the technology sucks, but
Well,
Yeah.
you
It
know,
always
I
does.
gotta tell you, that